No anime MC has suffered more than Yuji Itadori. A lot of people have been discussing this. I've been seeing this all over. Obviously, this is in reference to Jujutsu Kaisen, the Shibuya incident arc. It has been going crazy. And we've been seeing Yuji Itadori really struggle with a lot of things that have been happening to him. But there's actually two parts to this statement right here. First of all, we know that there's other characters out there that have suffered way more. We're actually going to discuss my 5 characters that I have above him. There's actually even more than 5, but these are the 5 characters that come to mind. But this also comes to a discussion on whether or not Mahito is one of the top villains, because we know that every anime MC that has been suffering, they also have a great adversary. So we also have to look at Mahito and see how he matches up against some of these other villains. Now first, why was this statement even made in the first place? When we're talking about Yuji Itadori, we have to look at the fact that Mahito has been antagonizing him on another level, to the point where he took out Nanami right in front of his eyes, took out Nobara right in front of his eyes, has him suffering constantly. And then you also have to factor in that Itadori feels like he should shoulder the blame for what Sukuna has been doing. Once Sukuna took over Itadori's body, I mean, everybody was getting it. It didn't matter if you were a cursed spirit or you're a human being. It doesn't matter what you had going on. Sukuna was out to kill everybody and everything. Obviously, Yuji Itadori, because Sukuna has been using his body as a vessel, he feels like he should shoulder the blame for that as well. So he has been suffering on all levels. But Mahito is a villain that has been sticking out to not just me, but everybody that has been watching JJK. And why? Because he doesn't have a reason. Mahito does not care about anything. He just wants to be a menace to be a menace. He's fighting for the cursed spirit's existence. So this is obviously why everybody is looking at Mahito saying, you don't even have a reason to be a menace. You're just a menace and you're accepting that's who you are. That alone makes Mahito one of the most annoying, menacing villains that we have seen in all of anime. He's up there. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna put him in the S class, but anybody that's watching JJK right now, I would not be mad if you put Mahito in your A, your high A, mid A villains, because he really is up there. Now, let's discuss some characters that I believe should be in this type of conversation. Getting the first one out of the way, Guts from Berserk. This is a no-brainer. Anybody that makes the statement that no anime MC has suffered more than Yuji Itadori and does not even think about Guts has lost it. Guts has suffered tremendously, to the point where there are some anime MCs that I don't even think they would make it past the eclipse. I don't even think they would even get up to the eclipse based on what was happening to Guts. You have Griffith. This is an S-class villain, by the way. Once he started trying to go for the Baylet, he made it his mission to really antagonize Guts on all levels, even worse than what Mahito has been doing to Itadori. Mahito has just been taking out Itadori's comrades in front of his face. That's child's play to Griffith. I mean, Griffith has been doing that. He took his girl. He was doing crazy things. I mean, listen, I've never seen an anime villain with this much hatred. You could talk about Dio. Dio is in those conversations as well, but Griffith is unbelievable. Guts had to watch Casca go through what Casca went through. If you know, you know. He had to watch it and could not even jump in to stop it. I don't know, that level of pain, there's no way that's even JJK level pain. That's beyond it. Guts had to watch all his comrades get killed in front of him. Guts had to go in battles and literally be damn near by himself. Really by himself. One-man army. And if you ask anybody that reads Berserk, did Guts do something wrong to deserve this level of chaos happening in his life? The answer would be no. Griffith has just been a complete demon to Guts. And does Griffith have some reasons? I mean, there's some jealousy involved, but I believe the Baylet is what took his envy and his hatred to the next level. That's when Griffith transformed into the demon, and that was it. But obviously, we already knew that Guts from Berserk was going to be on this list. That's a no-brainer. That should probably be my #1. I don't think I've seen an anime MC suffer more than Guts. Next up, I have Thorfinn from Vinland Saga. Now, I know some people may be questioning this, but I don't think you should at all. Thorfinn, from a young age, had to watch his father Thor's die right in front of his eyes. That's different from what Itadori has been witnessing, because Nanami is his teacher, Nobara is his friend, Thor's is his dad. He was a legendary warrior. Thorfinn had to watch his father die. Then in order to survive, he had to join forces with the villain that took his father out, and then train every single day in hopes that he would be able to defeat him one day. Thorfinn was waiting, going into battles, gaining battle experience, just because he was building up his skills for the day that he could avenge his father. And guess what? That day never came, because Askeladd died outside of Thorfinn. So now Thorfinn has all of these bodies, all of these people that he's fought and killed in war. Not only has it made him ice cold, but now he feels like all these bodies that he has piled up on his conscience, now it's killing him inside. He doesn't even have time to process that, because after Askeladd and his crew are taken out, Thorfinn becomes a slave. He gets enslaved, y'all. He gets sold off into slavery. This is where the real fun happens, because now you have Ketil, who is probably one of the worst worst owners of farmers. Ketil was horrible, but Thorfinn had to learn how to grow, forgive himself. It probably was one of the best displays of character development we've seen in years in anime. He was a beast. He was the second coming of Thor's damn near. Going into season 2, Thorfinn says, I have no enemies. This is the level of change, but it shows you how catastrophic his struggles were. Yuji Itadori, I don't think he's dealing with that. I'm just gonna put that out there. I don't care what Mahito put him through, what Ketil put Thorfinn through, what Askeladd put Thorfinn through. I don't think anybody outside of a Guts can really deal with that. And Askeladd really should be in the S class of antagonists, S class of villains. I really, truly believe so. Now, number 3 on my list for anime MCs that I believe have suffered more than Yuji Itadori, I have Akame from Akame ga Kill. You guys that have seen Akame ga Kill already know where I'm headed, but Akame really watching her entire crew, all of the night raid, die is all I really need to say. I mean, we're looking at Yuji Itadori. He saw Nanami die, he saw Nobara die, but I mean, listen, Akame saw everybody. There's nobody left. Now, some of you may be saying, well, Itadori still has to go through certain things. Obviously, his crewmates died and he had to kill a lot of innocent people, even though it really wasn't him. Sukuna did it with his body, so he still feels guilty about that. Are we really gonna have a conversation about guilt? Akame had to take out her own sister, because if she didn't take her sister out, her sister was gonna take her and her people out. She had no choice. That's how warped Akame's situation was. And if we're gonna be talking about Mahito and how menacing he was, you gotta have the conversation with Esdeath as well. There was no reasoning with Esdeath whatsoever. I mean, you're talking about somebody that was hosting the agenda originally, coming back and being the main antagonist of the series. We know she has great sword skills and all those things, but their only hope was truly Tatsumi. And Tatsumi was clearly trying to play on Esdeath's love or infatuation with him to try to help bridge the gap between the Genda's camp and Esdeath's camp, and she was not going for it. She wanted blood, she wanted war. And I will say, you kind of feel a little bit for Esdeath based on her backstory when she was a kid and seeing what she had to deal with. Again, a villain like Mahito is just a cursed spirit. He's just evil to be evil. He's just that's what he is. Esdeath had a tragic backstory, but her backstory so warped her mind that it was able to warp Akame's situation to the point where I believe Akame has suffered more than Yuji Itadori. I don't even think it's a contest. Again, there's no Toto to come save the day. Toto is gone and Akame got killed. Gojo to help, but no, there's nobody left. And Akame got killed. It's Akame versus Esdeath at the end. Everybody else is gone. For me, I'll probably have Esdeath around the A tier along with Mahito, but I definitely believe Akame has suffered more than Yuji Itadori. I don't even think it's a contest. Next up, believe it or not, I have Naruto Uzumaki in this same scenario. Naruto and Yuji Itadori are most often compared through their hidden powers based on beings inside their bodies, but there's more to it than that. Yes, some people looked at Itadori a little weird because they know that Sukuna is in his body, but they knew there was some sort of control based on the amount of fingers that Yuji Itadori was eating. In Naruto's situation, it doesn't matter what he ate, what he did. I mean, if you get Naruto mad enough, the Nine Tails is popping out. If Naruto is on the verge of death, the Nine Tails is popping out. And if it weren't for Jiraiya, Kakashi, Yamato, Killer Bee really helping Naruto understand how to work alongside Kurama and his powers, he'll probably end up feeling just like Yuji Itadori feels right now in the Shibuya incident arc, on top of all the other stuff Naruto had to deal with outside of that. What am I discussing? Neji's death, that's on Naruto's conscience. Sasuke leaving the village, going rogue, that's on Naruto's conscience. Sakura pretending that she really likes Naruto, that's on Naruto's conscience. The entire Konoha really hating Naruto, not even giving him a shot, that's on his conscience. Again, I'm not saying Yuji Itadori didn't go through things. I'm not saying he didn't struggle, but there are levels to struggle. Naruto has definitely struggled more than Yuji Itadori because the villain he had to deal with is none other than Kaguya. Kaguya had Black Zetsu setting up everything, even to the point where Madara got finessed. Madara thought he was the brains behind the operation just to find out that he was a puppet in Kaguya's play. Naruto had to go up against those odds. At least Yuji Itadori had other relatives to look out for him, because we all know what the third Hokage did to Naruto when he was young. No TLC whatsoever for Naruto. No, nothing at all. Literally just put him in the crib by himself and he just ate eat ramen noodles and try to survive at a young age, going to the academy. I don't know if I would say Kaguya is more menacing than Mahito, but the scale of damage that was caused clearly would go to Kaguya over Mahito. But that would go more into power scaling discussion rather than a real feel and emotional moment type vibe. For that reason, I mean, I could see Kaguya being around an A or B, maybe even less than Mahito. I do think Mahito was more menacing overall, but Naruto definitely suffered more than Yuji Itadori. And lastly, this one might be a little controversial, I'm not gonna lie, because there were some other characters. I was thinking about Gabimaru from Hell's Paradise. I wanted to throw Gabimaru in there, but I do believe this character has suffered even more than Gabimaru. At number 5, I have Takemichi from Tokyo Revengers, y'all. I do. I believe Takemichi has suffered more than Yuji Itadori. Now, I know you guys may be saying, what are you talking about? I'm confused. You shouldn't be. If you are caught up on Tokyo Revengers, at least in the anime, you should not be confused. I just want to start off by saying, for the most menacing villains that we have been discussing, Kisaki Teta is in the conversation. You're talking about a guy that will literally bring a gun to a kid's fight. Everybody else in Tokyo Revengers is boxing. They're using hands. They may use a little weapon here or there, but nothing crazy. Kisaki Teta is out here trying to catch bodies. He's out here trying to kill in middle school fights. Think about what type of trauma you're putting on all these young kids by literally trying to commit murders. People are going to jail. Kisaki's behind the scenes pulling the strings, and his reasons are goofy. If you think about it, it all surrounds around Mikey. Now, I know a lot of people that watch Tokyo Revengers, they have issues with it. They believe the characters do a lot of stupid things, and I agree that the characters do stupid things, but we have to remember the age group we're talking about. These kids are like 12 to 13 to 14, some are a little older, but they are kids at the end of the day. They're going to be doing dumb things. But Kisaki is out here moving militant. He's out here trying to catch bodies. This is Takemichi's main enemy. This is who Takemichi has to deal with. And every time Takemichi goes to the future, he has to see his plan foiled. He has to see another one of his friends die. Just to put that in perspective, it's different than what Itadori had to deal with. And let me tell you why. In Yuji Itadori's situation, Nanami's out. He's gone forever. There's no wishing him back with the Dragon Balls. There's none of that. In Takemichi's situation, he's being teased constantly with the opportunity to save the lives of people that have been passing away in the future. It's being dangled right in front of his face. You want a chance to save Hina? Okay, go ahead and try to save Hina. Oh wait, Akun just died. Oh, so now you have to save Hina and Akun. Okay, all right, maybe you could figure out a way. Wait a minute, Mikey's dead. Dragon's in prison. Now it's just a constant wheel of chaos, and Kisaki's at the head of this chaos. Again, I don't want to trivialize Yuji Itadori's struggles and what he has went through, but I believe Takemichi, although I wish Takemichi would get in the boxing gym, what he went through is way worse to me than what Itadori has been going through so far in the Shibuya incident arc. And you could probably put Kisaki Teta in the A tier, maybe even S, honestly. He really is a horrible, horrible villain, and that's exactly what villains are supposed to do. You're not supposed to like them. Now, obviously, there's a whole bunch of other anime MCs out there that probably you guys believe have suffered more than Yuji Itadori. So I want you guys to drop them in the comment section down below, because I even have some other ones. Like I said, I think Gabimaru from Hell's Paradise may be in this conversation as well, but at least on the 5 that came to mind, do you guys agree with my 5, or do you think there's some other ones that should be swapped out? And with that, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.